You're listening to the sound of the 80s with the Old Skool Movements podcast.
Yes. It is celebration time on this episode of the Old Skool Movements podcast. Because, ladies and gentlemen, we are celebrating a big milestone in this podcast. Because, ladies and gentlemen, it is our 100th episode.
100. We've reached 100.
Celebrate good times. Come on.
Wow.
Get that celebration.
The vocals of Leroy in the background.
Listen, I'm happy. I'm ecstatic. I'm over the moon. Over the moon. Listen. Forget the copyright infringements because of Fantastic Four are here. Bringing it to you. Coming forth like the fuck rights from Bonanza to bring you an amazing extravaganza. Yes, Old Skool Movements podcast is a ton up. Let's do this. Let's do this. I'm ready.
There you go. As you can hear, Leroy is ready and ready to go like a rough rider racer.
I got scrappy do energy. Let me at him. Let me at him.
I can't believe we made it to 100, man. Talking just about what we loved about the 80s, and we've still got, we can still fill up loads more shows yet, man. We're only just scratching the surface still, isn't it? 100 episodes, man.
I know. But before we get into it, ladies and gents, let's just introduce ourselves on the podcast. As you know, well, you should know by now, my name is Mr. Lucas.
And I'm Chris.
I'm Stacks.
And I am the last dragon. Bruce Leroy in the building.
That's Leroy. And I said, it is our 100th episode, so we've got lots to celebrate. We're going to talk about past episodes. We're going to have a laugh. But Chris, as this is our 100th episode, what else this year has a milestone in their careers?
This is a big year for some companies that we know and love from back in the 80s and characters and films. For instance, this is Disney's 100th anniversary this year. 100 years of that Disney magic.
Get out of here.
Wow. That's mad. 100 years, man, since the two brothers, Walt and Roy, first started their own little Disney Brothers studio company. And look at them nowadays. They own Pixar, Marvel, Star Wars. They're just they're owning everything, innit, man?
So, Chris, how old is Steamboat Willie then? Because that was the first.
That was one of the first.
Yeah,
that was the first thing that come out, wasn't it? It must have been around 1923 was when the company was founded. So I'm thinking maybe 30s. I'm thinking that come out.
Like 30, 31, 32, something like that.
Yeah,
Wow.
that was like the first cartoon, wasn't it? That old.
So if they were founded in 23 and it's come out in 30, what were they doing in those years?
Building Disneyland, isn't it?
Yeah, but that come after. Like the cartoon come first.
But maybe they started with just a shop. I don't know. No, it started with a studio, innit? They must have been doing. I don't know.
But they must have had something ready. Because if you're going to launch something, it should be out then. It's not like, we're here, but you got to wait 7 years for a cartoon.
Yeah, but you got to also remember who's got television.
Yeah, not many people. You have to go theatre, innit, to see.
What I mean?
Go to the picture house.
Yeah. Talking of pictures, it's Warner Brothers' 100th anniversary as well.
Oh, wow. They've been going strong.
100 years of Oscar-winning films, unforgettable TV shows.
So they come out at the same time, Disney and Warner?
Both the same year, yeah. Yeah, and it's Superman's 85th anniversary, 85 years since he first come into our comic books back in 1938.
Wow. Up in the sky, bird, plane.
Return of the Jedi, 40 years. That one seems mad.
What?
40th anniversary this year.
Return of the Jedi is
crazy,
40.
That's out in some cinemas. They're doing a 40th anniversary special.
Yeah.
Hand over mouth.
40 years. Wow.
40 years. I think Garfield's 45 years this year. Since he's been
Garfield.
Yep, everybody's favourite overweight, lazy orange cat.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Lasagna loving cat.
Lasagna love it. I think he got me into lasagna, I think that cat, how could a cartoon cat make me eat
dozing, just
a meal
sleeping during the day?
Because he loved it. I don't think I tried it. Because this dude had loved it so much. I was like, I've got to find out what this is all about.
Thanks to Garfield 45 years ago.
Lasagna is lovely. That's one of my favourite dishes, actually. And a Lucas Deluxe.
Yeah.
It's I'll slip that one in there. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, if you haven't tasted the Lucas Deluxe, you need to taste this. Who loves Lucas Deluxe? I do.
He's got an advert for it.
My goodness, it's mouth watering, shattering.
He's been going on about this burger for a while.
Isn't it?
Oh my God.
He's gonna have to open a shop.
Isn't it?
You have to open a restaurant.
Yeah. If you didn't know, ladies and gentlemen, I also make damn good burgers. And there's one of my happy customers there.
Listen, the Lucas Deluxe, mate. Jeez. Fire.
You're gonna have to do a doorstep delivery on that one.
I'm gonna have to, innit?
I'm gonna have to,
Don't
mate.
worry, man. I'm gonna invite you lot all around for some burgers. You know.
Listen, the Lucas Deluxe, mate.
All right, so since we're here in our 100th episode,
We're a ton up.
so many episodes, I've got to ask a question to you lads. What's been your favourite episode so far?
That's bloody hard, man.
It is very hard.
That's
too many.
hard.
Too many.
Listen, as a super fan, things you don't see. Part 1, 2, and 3. Computer games, food.
You know,
I could go. The list goes on. Biscuits 1 and 2. Hot groups.
Chris, have you got a standout?
mate, it's hard, man. For me, it's got to be probably a guest episode. You know, we've been lucky to have fantastic names on the show. It's hard to name a favourite. Like we've had recently Daddy O, we had David Harris from Warriors, and the unforgettable time we chatted with Bob Wall from Enter the Dragon.
That was a brilliant one.
The most one I've enjoyed though, and the one I feel like I could hang out with, has got to be the popping and locking master. That's Michael Chambers from
Boogaloo Shrimp.
Breakdance. Yeah, I think that's probably one of my
wicked.
best shows, man. I did that episode 66, I think it was.
Yeah. I gotta say to you guys, like, before I joined you guys, these shows were so thoroughly enjoyable, and I've got to salute you for bringing Ziggy from Grange Hill.
Yeah,
because
I forgot about that
I
one.
was a fan.
bit,
No,
yeah.
I was a proper fan of Grange Hill, and for you to do that, you lot knocked the ball out of the park for me, and that's
He was
what
good.
I'm saying as a fan,
Yeah,
a super fan,
that's
by
good.
the way.
yeah,
good.
yeah. I know.
Yeah, I'm an
Definitely a
anorak.
super fan.
Yeah, I forgot about that Ziggy episode. That Ziggy episode was
Ziggy
good.
was
man.
good. I've got to say, you know,
I
while we're
love
talking
that.
about it, man, we got to give a massive thanks to all the guests that have made
Yeah.
part of our 100 shows we've done so far.
Yeah. Stacks, what's been your favourite?
You know, my favourite is Non from Superman.
That was a
Jacko
good one,
Halloran.
man.
That
That was an
episode-
interesting show, that, wasn't it?
That episode,
was
the
wicked.
reason why it's my favourite is because it was everything I didn't expect from
Yeah.
an interview from someone
Thank
from
you.
Superman.
Thank you.
And like to go into this whole gangster episode like of his dad and the craze and all that just I was like, what?
Boxing and yeah. I wasn't
Yeah,
expecting
the
all that.
boxing, like trying to set up a fight with Muhammad Ali and all that.
Yeah.
Mm.
Wasn't expecting all that.
That episode just like I was like, what is going on here?
It blew me away as well.
No, the guest episodes were good. Like
They've
I
all
really
been
did
good.
like talking to Lino because it was like I was talking to Lino.
Yeah.
His
You-
voice.
You had the chatting character
It
with
was
him. That
still
wicked.
there. Yeah, he was still in character, and it was just like it was nuts.
Monkeying the lionel.
Yeah, it was nuts. Other than the guests we have on the show, I do like the movie and TV ones we did.
Yeah.
And so that kind of leads me to the next question for you guys. And that question is, which film or TV series would you star in and what character would you be and why?
Oh, that's very, very interesting.
So pick a movie, TV program, think of a character from one. Oh, why would you be one?
I'd have to be Magnum. I would. I'd have to be Magnum.
Stacks has got to get the shirt now.
Yeah, man. I'd have to be Magnum. I'd have to be.
Wow.
It's not. Yeah. Yeah.
That's similar to my one, man. Like, I
Wow.
was going to say, obviously, it's got to be Sonny Crockett, man. Come on, we were like the Crockett and
Well,
Tubbs
see, that's the
of
other
West
one.
London
That's
when
the
we were
other-
growing up, man. but I really, I'd probably, if it's got to be like a character, I'd probably go with Airwolf because the show was good, the chopper was wicked, music was good.
wicked.
Jan Michael Vincent was quite a cool character to play. Otherwise, any other person I could think of is Commandant Lassard, because for many, many reasons I'd choose him.
Many.
But no, probably I'll go Airwolf, Joe Michael Vincent.
My idol growing up was Mr. T. So
Easy.
I hated
Good
him
one.
as Clubber Lang, but then when he starred in the 80s,
That was a love-hate that role, wasn't it? You liked him, but
Yeah.
you didn't want to like. You
When
didn't want
he
to like
started-
him, but
Yeah, when
yeah,
he
Clubber,
started-
Clubber Lang, yeah.
I could stand him as Clubber Lang, but then when he starred in the A-Team,
Mm.
I just adored him.
yeah.
So I think it's gonna have to be just a tough guy with all the bad boy chains.
Did you want the dungarees?
Yeah.
And the red
Listen.
top underneath?
The baseball boots.
He had him.
I had the massive Mr. T doll.
Yeah.
doll, I should
Yeah,
say.
yeah, yeah.
That was
Bigger.
big.
Yeah,
Literally.
yeah.
You know what I
yeah.
mean?
I know the one.
Watch
I
the
know the
cartoon, the toughest man in the world when he done that film.
one. Yeah,
Then
yeah.
I was Mr. T mad. So yeah,
So you would be BA.
I'd be
B.A.
B.A.
Baracus.
Baracus, drive that bad boy van and wear those thick ass chains and have a bad boy Mohican.
Good call.
Hey sucker.
Yeah, that's a good call. That's a good call.
What would you go? Dave?
Like as you were saying, Chris, the Crockett and Tub, the cool thing, and as you guys know, Empire Strikes Back is my favourite film ever. So
What do we got here?
it could only be Lando Calrissian.
Yeah.
Lando Calrissian. As soon as he appeared on the screen, that was my role model. Do you know what I mean? So
Not Lenny Henry or nothing. It's good.
He came into Star Wars like how he came in Lady Sings the Blues. That guy was cool.
just
He was
cool,
cool.
just cool.
Lando Calrissian was cool.
Definitely Lando, definitely Lando, and he owned the Millennium Falcon originally,
Yeah,
so he
yeah,
just
he
turned
did.
ultra cool. So yeah, Lando
You double
Calrissian
cross me.
all the way.
Oh my god.
Yeah, man. So TV and movie situations and heroes, man. Lando Calrissian, Billy D. Williams to me all the way, guys, man.
Yep.
I still can't get over Magnum for Stacks.
It's the Ferrari.
It's the Ferrari more than the
We
moustache.
knew it was the Ferrari.
And the budgie smugglers.
As soon as Stax said
Yeah.
Magnum, I saw Stax leaning on a red Ferrari with a Hawaiian shirt.
Yeah.
I've done the same. Oh, that's wicked.
Yes, as you know, ladies and gentlemen, we are celebrating our 100th episode of the Old School Movements podcast, and we are honoured today to have some of our fans come on the show and talk to us, and we are so excited. And we've got our first guest on the show. Heather, you there?
I'm here.
Hello, how you doing?
Hello.
How are you doing? How are you doing?
I'm doing awesome. How are you guys doing?
We're good.
We're good, thank you.
Yeah, same. Likewise, guys.
We're good. So what's been one of your favourite episodes of the podcast so far?
I have to say, when I like the ones that really just have me falling out are the ones where you guys kind of go unhinged and you're a little more loose with each other. And they tend to be, I would think, the versus episodes because you guys kind of go in on each other, and poor
Difference of
Oscar and poor cornflakes. And when I think about how Stax and Leroy kind of get at it, I just laugh so hard. But then I love Stax. No offense to anybody else, but Stax as the wild card because, and it's so funny because you guys tend to reach a consensus fairly easily, and then you turn to him and you get a few select responses. You get either he has no idea what's going on,
Don't know what you're gonna get. Yeah.
or he completely disagrees, or he gives a philosophical third option. And so, I refer to Stax as my younger brother or my older brother for that reason, just because he's just he's younger than me, but he's this guy that has this, great amount of wisdom and reflection. So for that reason. But anyway, I kind of love it and then there's always Chris with his oral fixations.
Oh gosh. Tell us about it.
they just slay me between the sucking and the licking and the fingers and the this and the that.
That's why we don't talk about food much.
Chris, it really gives me a way different perspective of you. So,
Oh, bad.
Brilliant.
so okay, you guys ready for a question, or is there something else you want to talk about?
Yeah. Do you have a
You've got a
question for
question,
us? Yeah.
Okay,
fire away.
so I have a question for you.
Cool.
We're going to do a little bit of role playing here. It's the 1980s. Oh, okay. Wait, Chris, do you have anything to say?
No. I'm waiting to hear what you got to say first.
Chris doesn't want to lay all his
Okay.
cards on the table just yet.
Okay, it's the 1980s. Each of you has to think. Each of you has to consider this. Okay, so each of you, you're an A-list movie star, and you've been cast in Hollywood's next blockbuster film. And there's a slight catch. It's a buddy film. But you are limited to one of your co-hosts from the podcast. So, what movie are you in? And which co-host are you picking and why? So, Darren, why don't you go first?
Ooh.
That's easy. That's easy for me. It would probably be Rocky 3. I'm Apollo Creed. Chris is Rocky. See through the film. We ran on the beach in our shorts, trainers, and I trained him to beat BA.
We
Mr.
played that
Clever
when we were little. Yeah, we played that.
All right. Okay, so moving on. I may as well, since Stax is so eager. Stax, who's your movie buddy? What's your movie?
My movie buddy's going to be Leroy.
I knew it. And it's going to be Rocky. And you guys are going to fight. No, I'm kidding.
No. It's not going to be Rocky at all. It's going to be Beverly Hills Cop.
And Leroy loved that.
Wait, didn't you hate that movie?
Exactly.
Leroy loves that.
Leroy doesn't like it. That's why I
Leroy
chose
doesn't
him.
like it.
And
Okay, I
that's why
knew one of you
chose that
guys
movie.
didn't like it. Okay, anyway. All right, Beverly Hills Cop.
Because
Okay. Okay. Chris, why don't we go over to you?
Oh, I was thinking Rocky as well, down the same lines as Darren. Obviously, black and the white character growing up. So I'm gonna have to go trading places, Eddie Murphy and Dan Aykroyd, man.
And Chris, which one are you?
We're the two old kids.
Dan Aykroyd painted himself black, didn't he? Irie man.
Oh my God. All right. And then there was Leroy, Mr. Bombastic. Let's hear it.
Yes, so I'm gonna go to Mr. Bombastic, Semi-Fantastic. I'm picking Stacks.
yeah.
Because like you said, we go at it all the time. So I'm Murtaugh, he's Riggs, Lethal Weapon.
You know, I'm disappointed nobody picked a romantic film. I'm just going to put it out there.
Like Brokeback Mountain or something.
But we're not going to do Ghost, are we?
No.
Patrick Swayze and Demi Moore.
Okay, so we have Lethal Weapon.
So we're going Lethal Weapon here. We're going Lethal
Yeah.
Weapon. Listen, I'm too old for this. And him,
But you know
that
what?
annoying Riggs.
You're more like Georgia Mildred.
I'll tell you what's something funny though, Leroy. You see Danny Glover,
Yeah.
for me, he's almost the spitting image of my dad. That's what my dad looks like. Honest to
You do?
God.
I can actually
straight
see
up, that's
that.
what my dad looks
I
like.
see a resemblance. I can see
And
that.
my uncle looks like Samuel Jackson.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
Like, proper.
So who looks like Lawrence Fishburne?
I haven't got anyone in my family that looks like that.
They're naming all the big guys. All right, fellas.
We've got one more question for you though, Heather, because we're gonna have a quick 80s quiz. All right.
Oh, do it.
So we're gonna see if you know these 4 questions we're gonna fire at you. So are you ready?
No pressure.
Oh, bring it. Let's go.
No pressure.
And the first one is.
We have a challenge.
Here comes a new challenger.
Go, Street Fighter. Let's go.
You ready?
I'm ready.
Insert coin and let's go. Okay, so who created Star Wars?
Oh, George Lucas. George Lucas. Come on.
Okay. What's the name of the 90s rap duo that had a hit with jump.
Crisscross.
Okay. Complete the name of this famous UK wrestler. Giant Hay.
This one might be hard.
Stacks.
Oh,
I'm gonna say Stacks.
Okay. And what does the L stand for in Samuel L. Jackson?
Leroy.
I was about to call.
Okay. Yes, that was Heather. That was great. And she got all 4 of the questions right.
Yeah,
So that's
man.
good. That's good. That's
and
good.
asked us some good questions, man. Yeah.
And asked some good questions. So that was good.
Yeah.
That was good. That was good.
Great listener.
Oh, okay. Let's keep this show rolling. So, yes, guys. As you know, we are celebrating the Old School Movements 100 episode podcast. And, you know, as we are talking, there is a slight soundtrack behind us as we're talking. If you followed us from the beginning, you'd know it changed. And it changed thanks to the guy that we're talking to next. He's also a rapper, a producer, and a podcaster with his Breaking Atom podcast. Ladies and gentlemen, we have...
Let's make him feel at home, maybe AKA the Breaking Atom, AKA the podcast professor.
Podcast professor.
AKA the actual factual,
Yes. Yeah.
AKA the absent father of the 5-star frog splash. Let's go.
I love the AKAs in the podcast, man.
Yes, so ladies and gentlemen, the soundtrack of our podcast is supplied by Kinetic that we have here. So, Kinetic, man, so you have your podcast yourself. You've got the Breaking Atoms podcast. For people that don't know, tell them a bit about your podcast, man.
So Breaking Atoms is a hip-hop podcast that I co-host alongside my guy Sumit Sharma. And our thing is that every week we deep dive into what we call the rap ecosystem, and we connect the dots together by speaking to like the legends and the pioneers of the culture, talking about their music, their careers, and also just life experience in general. Sumit and I, we are very inclined and we love research and we love details. So what you'll find on Breaking Atoms is that we don't just ask the regular questions. We're not going to have, Big Daddy Kane up there and asking what his favorite color is. We're going to talk about, the picture where he was getting his hair cut, and them kind of like, we ask questions that really touch on social, political, and like spiritual things that take place in hip hop as well. So we really try and bring the music to life. So imagine the Source magazine in audio form. That's what we do. That's what we do. So we're on 180 episodes. It's been 3 years. We've done 2 documentaries. So we did our first documentary on the making of Reasonable Doubt by Jay-Z. It featured Clark Kent, Jazzo, Ski. We even found the engineer who recorded the album, a really big deep dive, and got featured in the Independent, in Forbes, in the Guardian.
Wow.
So yeah, we did one on the Blueprint too. So yeah, we're just rap nerds trying to find out as much about the music that we love as possible.
Yeah. So basically, we got a long way to go on our podcast.
Yeah.
You know what? It's 100 episodes, man. So before we even get into it, congratulations, because as a podcast producer, it's worth saying that those documentaries we did actually created jobs for us, and we got new careers out of them. So people started calling us like, yo, who are these 2 brothers out here doing what we should be doing? Like, you want to come work over here? Okay, cool. So I say to start one of something is hard work. So the fact that you're on 100, I want to salute you, because I know many podcasters who are no longer here. They've gone on to do other things. They did it in the pandemic because they were bored. And you guys have been consistent. So I think longevity is to be celebrated. So salute to you all.
Thank you.
Thanks, man.
As you know, the Old School Movements is all about the great decade we love, the 1980s, and we delve in and out every fortnight about our loves about that. I'm going to put you on the spot now. What's been your favourite episode of the Old School Movements podcast?
Correct me if I've got the name wrong. Is it Larry Kenny?
Yes.
Yeah.
Bro, let me tell you something, right? I grew up, I'm a Thundercats guy, innit? I remember I got the Thunder Tank for Christmas. Shout out to
wow.
I got the Thunder Tank, yeah? My brother was a hater. He was such a hater. Listen, like, my brother broke the Thunder Tank for Christmas Day,
Oh,
no.
I don't think the Thunder Tank lasted 3 hours. It was done. It was done. He was a hater. He was a hater. But I'm a big Thundercats guy. I've got the DVDs. And, I have my little jokes with my friends and stuff like, which Thundercat was black, which one was mixed race, which one was white. And Panthro was definitely a black man. I'm taking this one to the grave.
Like
But
the Mr.
yeah,
T, man.
you know, like Panthro was always fixing something in the thunder tank. You know, like
Yeah.
just last minute he goes check this modification and it turned into a submarine or just something mad. Like Panthro was always on smoke, ready to go. Yeah, I think that interview with him, because it really, people like that, you know, you don't hear from them often.
Yeah.
And for me, with that interview, you threw up a bat signal, like, because I had been listening before that, and I'm like, yo, like, I remember seeing his name in the credits. I didn't even know this brother was alive. I'm there thinking, yo, how they find this brother? Like, and to hear him talking about, you know, Thundercats, and just hear the voice, and it brings you back to that time. Like, I get emotional sometimes when I talk about the 80s and growing up, because it was a pure time for me anyway. And you know, a voice like Larry Kenny is part of the soundtrack to those pure days. You know, going out, you know, riding your bikes, buying penny sweets, 10 pence crisp, you know, those types of things. So yeah, I think the fact that you even found him, and I hope that he realizes, and I think he would definitely realize after the interview, just how loved and respected he is. Like, that man is a legend, and he might be outside, you know, you might walk past him on the street because he's not been out there like that. But when I saw you, man, pull him out, I said, all right. I said, yeah, let's go.
So what inspired you to make the track? Those were the days.
Honestly, so it was the song is produced by Imperial, who is I don't even want to call him my producer. I think, you know, I'll be what's the word, devaluing the relationship we have. Like, he's a friend, he's a brother now. I know his family
together for time.
Yeah, he knows my family, I know his family. Like, I go to his house, like, I know his kids, you know. So he made the beat, and you know, I approach music like, what does the beat make me think about? You know, I got that bit of advice from watching a Mos Def interview. He said, you know, whatever the beat makes you think about, that's what I write about. And that beat just made me reminisce, bro. And, you know, I'm of a certain age where I can reminisce in a way that ties all these different references together. So if you listen to Those Were the Days, you know, I'm talking about Street Fighter, I'm talking about fashion, I'm talking about food, I'm talking about Blockbuster. Like, those are things that you wouldn't necessarily tie into a conversation, but I really wanted to touch on what life was like before the digital revolution. You know, I've got a digital adulthood now. I'm here speaking to you guys on Zoom, but I had an analog childhood. Like, I had to remember phone numbers. You remember? You know what I'm talking about. Like, if you said to someone, "I am going to meet you at 10 p.m.," you cannot ring them and say you're going to be late because you had no phone, so you had to be there. You know what I'm saying? Now it's like people are rocking up at 10:30. Yeah, sorry, I'm late, because they got the phones. I'm from that era, and I think
Stacks knows all about that.
Come on. So yeah, that's why I did the song, and you know, I've done a few back in the day raps, like I call them, but I always try and get more juice from the squeeze with everyone that I write. You know, maybe that tackling a different area or bringing out a reference that, you know, people like us would get. You know, I often say throwing up the bat signal. There's certain things in that song that you would have to have been there, you know, to understand. So, you know, Chippy with the pin rolls. You man understand that. So yeah, that's why I wrote that, and we got Breeze on the second verse simply because he's of a certain age and time, and we've always wanted to work with him.
Nice. Well, it's very fitting for our podcast.
Thank you.
Yeah,
it's a great track
for that gift.
I got a question for you. So, since you guys talk about the 80s, and I do a hip hop podcast, I would like to know from each of you, what are your favorite hip hop albums from the 80s and why?
Oh, that's hard.
Stacks, you go first, man.
First off, I think it's got to be LL Cool J Radio, the first album I ever bought. It's just, at that time, it was just bangers at that time.
And it's probably Long Live the Cane for me.
Cool.
You did ask for one album, didn't you?
One or two, listen, man, I'm here to talk, man. drop off the names, man.
I'm talking Long Live the Cane, I'm talking Criminal Minded.
Come on.
Paid in Full.
Paid in Full. I'm talking Follow the Leader. I'm talking Critical Beatdown, Ultraman X.
You've loved that album. You've loved that album from time.
I chucked License to Ill in there as well. Beastie Boys was a big album as well in the 80s, man.
Yeah. Me and Chris used to listen to License to Ill a lot. Okay. Brass Monkey and Girls.
Okay.
We used to sing all the time.
Brass Monkey's big.
Yeah. We didn't know what Brass Monkey was.
Don't need to. It's fine.
But yeah, it was cool. So I would go there straight up. All those albums, and I did respect what was going on in the UK. So There was a bit of MC Duke going on. There's a bit of Hijack going on. A bit of Demon Boys going on.
Dope.
You know, yeah.
Well, this album, and I'll probably get 0 ratings for it, but one of them was the Cookie Crew.
Shout out to Cookie. Come on.
Yeah, I actually got that album because, and I found it good. I used to put that on repeat cassette. I used to put that on repeat. And Demon Boys, I like them.
I'm going to put 2 more shouts in there. Dougie Fresh and
You
Fresh
would,
Prince and
wouldn't
Jazzy Jeff.
Oh, you would.
Yeah, those
Yeah,
are.
man, come on, man.
The Fresh Prince,
good.
the Fresh Prince album was recorded in Willesden.
Good clean rap, man.
Joking.
Yeah, at Battery Studios. Jive used,
Oh, really?
yeah, Jive used to send all their people over here.
Wow.
I think Cool D done a bit there as well, isn't it? I think.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
why.
man.
Because Jay-Z used to hang out in Wilson, didn't he?
Yeah, they
'Cause he used
when
to
I
come
spoke
with
to
Jazzo.
Jazzo, he said they stayed at Notting Hill in the YMCA in Notting Hill.
Oh,
Back
damn.
then. And Irv Gotti was there walking with them in Wilson.
Joking.
For now.
So yeah, we've got some questions for you,
Talk to
my
me.
friend. Like with all the people we've got coming in on the show, we asked them the same 4 questions based on the 80s.
Cool.
You know, there's no winners or losers. It's just all about being part of this celebration that we're having. So, are you ready?
Yes, let's go.
Okay. So the first question is, who created Star Wars?
George Lucas,
Okay. What is the name of the 90s rap duo that had a hit with Jump?
Crisscross,
Okay. Complete the name of this UK wrestler. Giant Hay.
Stacks,
Okay. What is the L stand for in Samuel L. Jackson?
I can't remember, you know. He's a black man. I'm gonna say Leroy.
Thanks.
Okay. Thank you so much, man. Thank you so much for coming on.
What is that? Is that me? Is that me done?
That's you. Connect. Thank you again.
Pleasure.
Good luck with your podcast and all your
Thank you.
endeavors.
Yes, indeed. Thank you all for having me, man. I'm gonna go and Google Samuel L. Jackson's real name, and I'll get back to you.
You do that, man. Peace.
All right, man.
Don't need.
Take care, man.
See you soon.
All right, peace.
Peace, brother.
Peace. And now for our next guest, who Stacks knows pretty well. Who we got on the line now?
All right, everyone good?
Yeah.
Good.
Hello.
100 episodes.
Now, Charmaine, you're an avid listener to the podcast, right?
Mate, I tell you, I listen to it on my way to work every time. Every time there's a new one, I listen to it on my way to work, and I'm cracking up in the street. I think people think I'm that mad woman that walks up.
You think you're crazy. Same time, same day, there's that mad woman laughing to herself. But there's a particular reason why you listen to this podcast so avidly. And that's because you are married to the Grouch Oscar himself.
Hey, let me tell you, that is not the reason that I listen to the podcast. I can relate more than he can relate.
Hey, I didn't bring you on here for this, yeah?
Do you know what? When you was doing your podcast about Wimpy and McDonald's, even I was disgusted. Like, how could you never have tasted it? What do you mean you haven't?
Thank
What
you.
do you mean you haven't heard of that film? Why haven't you watched that?
That should
Look,
not
look.
have surprised you at all.
Thanks for getting roasted behind the scenes.
So man, you got to give him an 80s night and just give him a download of the 80s all in one night. So come
because you
back
know
to the next
what?
podcast. And he
We'll
knows
just end
everything.
up watching Grease all night. It's all right, folks.
Grease, Dirty Dancing.
Yeah, exactly. Nah.
Exactly.
Cool. I'd rather just stay as I am.
So, Charmaine, do you have any questions for us?
Yeah, well, do you know what? I had no questions, and now I've got loads of questions, and now I don't know what to ask you. So,
Far away.
okay, well, one thing is, what do you guys miss most about the 80s?
What's a list?
Ooh.
You know what I miss? There's 2 really big things I miss, and that's Quattro, the canned drink Quattro,
That was nice.
and the chocolate bar called Cabana. It was coconut, caramel, and chopped up pieces of cherry. I miss
I
those.
don't remember that.
That was good.
Yeah.
Neither do
That
I.
was good.
That's what I miss about the 80s.
Mine's my BMX, man. I miss my BMX. I miss Star Wars figures. I miss 18 figures. I miss McDonald's root beer.
Bloody hell.
Anything else? Yeah, innit?
Anything else?
Emotion.
I miss fat laces and trainers as well. I used to love that in the 80s.
Yeah.
And arcade machines. I could go on for ages.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow, you named almost everything. Yeah.
That's what I'm
You're
saying.
taking everyone's answers.
Thank you, Chris. Thanks.
Yeah, there's a lot of technology now that we could have done with, especially for homework,
Yeah.
right?
AI is
What?
smashing it recently, isn't it?
Yeah.
AI homework. Don't tell the kids.
Homework.
Okay. Wait, I'm talking to the wrong crowd here.
This is the Old School Movements podcast. Not University Challenge. We don't know about homework and education.
Oh god.
So I believe you have another question. So what's your next question then?
Yeah, last question, right? What's been your funniest moment whilst doing the podcasts? Because I've got to tell you mine after.
Do you know what? We have laughs all the time.
Yeah,
so
it's hard to
I
pick
can't-
out one.
I can't pick out one. So yeah, it'd be better to hear what yours was.
Do you know what? You guys constantly have me cracking up, but the thing that got me was, and I was in the high street listening to this,
Yeah.
and it was the ice cream episode,
Yes,
and
it was Chris.
it was Chris.
Ice cream
Yeah.
episode.
You know what it is, Chris.
What have I said?
Because that's one of my favourites.
Basically, Chris was going, so when you lick them long enough, they look like a dog's dick.
Oh, twisters.
That one.
Yeah, they do though.
And then,
I can't look at them the same way.
I think everyone that's spoken to me has said that.
The twister, the little lipstick one.
Have any of you not had a twister since?
no one has.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've got twisters. No, I've got twisters in the freezer.
Leroy don't care.
I've got them in the freezer.
Do you know what? I got people listening to the podcast because I was playing them just that clip.
Oh wow.
Oh no.
That's the guy.
I don't think of it. When these things come out my mouth, I don't think of that bit. Like, oh man, people are going to be
Yeah, I
listening
don't
to
think
this.
you did because you tried to back it up by saying, you know, when you look at it long enough, it looks like a dog. I'm like,
Expecting us to all go, yeah, that's true.
Chris does like to dig himself a hole, you know. Once he starts,
True.
he just keeps digging and keeps
Keeps on
digging.
rolling.
There's plenty of them. There's plenty
That was a
of
good
those.
episode.
Oh, that's good.
I like that.
We've got a quick quiz.
On the spot, quick fire.
4 quick fire questions. First answer is the answer I'll take. Yeah. Are you ready?
No pressure.
go for it.
You ready?
Yeah, go.
Okay. Who created Star Wars?
I can't think.
Okay. What's the name of the 90s rap group that had a hit with Jump?
Oh, crisscross.
Okay. Complete the name of this UK wrestler. Giant Hay.
Stacks.
Okay. What does the L stand for in Samuel L. Jackson?
Lucas.
Okay. Well, thank you for calling in. We'll speak to you soon. Thank you. Thank you so much. Keep listening to the show. We appreciate your support.
Always.
And make sure Stacks comes on this podcast on time from now on, please.
Can't guarantee anything.
Cheers. Thank you.
All right, see you
Coming
later.
on.
Bye.
Bye.
Take care.
Bye.
Take care. Well, that's some good questions there.
Good questions.
Yeah.
Stacks, you didn't write the
Yeah.
questions.
No. I had no part
You
at all.
two guys didn't converse and pretend
No.
that it's all.
This is Oscar.
You-
This is
you know what?
Oscar.
She even asked me just before, what did the other guest ask? I was like, I can't tell you that.
Very good. All right, so guys, come on, man. Look, this is I just keep saying 100 episodes. Ladies and gentlemen, I hope you're enjoying this episode as much as we are.
100 show done.
So let's sign out, man, on this 80s 100th
Yeah.
episode of the Old School Movements podcast. Thank you all for listening, man.
Yeah, I've enjoyed doing the last 100.
Yeah, man.
Enjoyed
It's been
to
a
the
lot.
next 100.
Definitely.
Thank you. for making me be a part of this
Exactly.
team, the Fantastic Four.
It's been
all
good
good,
to have
man.
you on, mate.
Thank you.
So yeah, guys, until next time, we'll be back with another rip-roaring ride back to the
All
1980s.
nostalgia.
It's with me, Mr. Lucas.
Me, Chris.
Stacks.
And me, the Last Dragon, and Old School Movements is a ton up. Let's do another ton. And another ton.
And another one.
Let's go.
And we'll make sure that Leroy doesn't swallow a jar of fizzy cola bottles next time before he comes on the show. He's hyped tonight.
Listen, I'm hyped.
100 show.
100 show. He's been celebrating from morning. He's been getting ready for this. So thank you guys for listening. It's been amazing. Peace.
Till next time. Peace.
Those were the days I remember.
If you love the 80s, then the Old School Movements podcast is the place to be. Find them on your smart speaker or on Apple, Google, and Spotify. Old School Movements podcast.